So welcome back children for the online class for 10th standard. As in the last class, we have discussed about the Carnatic War, first Carnatic War, why it has been started and what is the reason behind this, and how this war ended and what is the treaty made in between the French and the English. Now move on to the second Carnatic War, why it happened, when it happened, and between whom, and what was the outcome and what are the reasons for this. So before this, let me explain about the conditions made for the second Carnatic War. As in the first Carnatic War, as I have explained about the Nizam of Hyderabad, who established the kingdom of Hyderabad. So as this person died, as a Nizam of Hyderabad, Asaf Jah, he died in 1748. So after his death, you can see a tussle started. Tussle means a clash in between Asaf Jah's son and his daughter's son, Muzaffar Jung, for the throne. So as at that time, if the king dies, next the elder son or the relatives who is very capable of handling the throne will occupy the throne. So in this matter we can see the Nizam of Hyderabad, when he died, so here the tussle started between his son Nasir Jung and his daughter's son Muzaffar Jung for the throne. So on the other hand, a fight had broken between Chanda Sahib. So who is this Chanda Sahib? Was released from the Maratha prison, and Anwaruddin in Karnataka. So French extended their support towards Muzaffar Jung in Hyderabad and Chanda Sahib in Karnataka. So the British or the English extended their support to Nasir Jung and Anwaruddin. So you can observe here in 1749, the combined forces of French, Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung defeated Anwaruddin and killed him in Ambur battle. So as a result, Chanda Sahib became the ruler of Karnataka, and after that Muhammad Ali, the son of Anwaruddin, stayed at Tiruchinappalli with the help of English. So in the middle you can see the mind game of the English played at that time. So by supporting the weak persons and making them into their side. So in Hyderabad you can see Muzaffar Jung became the Nizam by killing Nasir Jung with the help of French, and on the other side Chanda Sahib also helped him, and here you can see he got killed after few days. So here the French made Salbat Jung, the another son of Asaf Jah, so who established the Hyderabad kingdom. So his second son Asaf Jah has become the Nawab of Hyderabad. So now moving on towards the second Carnatic War. So why it happened? As this war started in 1749 and ended in 1754. So why happened means here, in the changed circumstances, the French made Salbat Jung, as in the, before I explained, Salbat Jung, the another son of Asaf Jah, made as a Nizam of Hyderabad. So as in Karnataka, you can see Chanda Sahib was the Nawab with the help of French. Now here Robert Clive of East India Company. So here you can see the picture of Robert Clive attacked Arcot. The main thing is the attack on Arcot made by Robert Clive at that time. So the capital city of Karnataka. So which place this Arcot means? So this is the capital city of Karnataka, and defeated Chanda Sahib. So here who is the main reason behind this is Robert Clive, so who attacked Arcot and defeated Chanda Sahib. So afterwards Chanda Sahib was imprisoned and later killed in this war. So in the place of Chanda Sahib, the English named Muhammad Ali. So who is this Muhammad Ali? So he is the son of Anwaruddin as the Nawab of Karnataka. So here the second Carnatic War ended with the Treaty of Pondicherry. So here French recalled Dupleix again. So this war brought laurels to English, while French suffered a political setback. Means here the French faced some problems as the English has got more benefit through this Second Carnatic War. And moving towards Third Carnatic War, Comte de Lally, remember what? Comte de Lally of French attempted to besiege Vandewash in 1760. So in this decisive battle, so this battle was handed over by Sir Eyre Coote of the English army. So who defeated the French and imprisoned Bussy. So who is this Bussy? So after making Asaf Shah's second son as the Nizam of Hyderabad, so here you can see the French made Salbat Jung, the another son of Asaf Shah, as the Nizam of Hyderabad, and to protect him, here you can see the French has kept one officer, his name is Bussy. So as this Sir Eyre Coote, under the instructions of Sir Eyre Coote of the English army, so this army defeated the French and imprisoned Bussy. So Lally escaped and hidden in Pondicherry, and finally Sir Eyre Coote attacked Pondicherry and Lally had to surrender unconditionally in front of the English in 1761. Now after this, here you can see French had lost all their bases in India due to these three Carnatic wars. In spite of this, so as per the Treaty of Paris, which was done in 1763, Pondicherry was returned to French, and afterwards with these developments, French lost their importance in India. Means they are not able to defeat or compete with the English. So like this, English finally defeating all their rivals started consolidating their power over the southern India. Now moving towards Robert Clive, who is a very important person in the upliftment of English in India. So as you can see, the picture of Robert Clive. So this Robert Clive, who laid the firm foundation of the British power in India. And as he joined East India Company as clerk, remember well, he joined English East India Company as a clerk, and he played a decisive role in Carnatic Wars, particularly in the siege of Arcot, and played a prominent role in the British victory. As he was successful in establishing the British rule over South India and was instrumental in Bengal victory also. So after the Battle of Plassey, which has happened in 1757, he gained control over the Nawab of Bengal. Also, Clive amassed immense wealth in all these ventures and helped the East India Company to earn more profit. Clive returned to England with immense wealth, rich, and he became rich, and as afterwards he became the Member of Parliament. So with the return of Clive to England, the East India Company started to face losses in their business. Even though there were many allegations against Clive, the British government had to resend Clive to India to save the company's situation and also save the face of the country. Now as you can see, the British won the Battle of Buxar and earned back its respect again. As Robert Clive was successful in securing the Diwani rights for the British over Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So these regions brought more wealth to Robert Clive and to the East India Company also. As you can see here, Dupleix. As this Dupleix was named as the Governor General of French regions in India in 1749. 1742. So as he is having a dream of achieving French harmony over India and entered into treaties with the local kings. So at that time here you can see Hyder Ali, who was also trained in the army of locals, raised by Dupleix only. So here to become more powerful, as you can see this Hyder Ali. So in the next coming classes we can discuss about Hyder Ali, how he became so powerful only because of the training given by the French, and that too under Dupleix army. And here you can see the British considered the Dupleix as a formidable challenge to them. So if this Dupleix is not there to compete with them, so no one is there to face us. So hence we notice clashes over between English and the French to gain supremacy over the Carnatic and the Deccan Plateau. So Dupleix played an important role in the first Carnatic War, and in that first Carnatic War you can see the success of French army, but the rivalry between the French and the British continued till 1754. So later French government recalled Dupleix as it wanted peace. So now we shall discuss about the British rule, as there were no forces or nobody to stand in front of the British at that time. So Portuguese went, Dutch went, and the French also left their ways and moved to their motherlands. So after these three European countries, only left power in India is the British. So after gaining their supremacy over India, so how they started to make out their rule in India, we are going to discuss in this. So after gaining political control over South India, the British tried to gain control over rich Bengal provinces in the later part of 18th century. So the Bengal province had achieved tremendous growth in the areas of agriculture, commerce and industry. So here the East India Company was making considerable profits from these provinces. Here you can see the dastaks, means the license issued by the Mughal ruler Farrukh Shah, were the main reasons for this purpose. So why the dastaks, license issued by the Mughal ruler, was the main reason to get their rule to be implemented in India. But here you can see these dastaks were not limited to the company transactions, were also misused by the individual officers of the company also. So this resulted in huge loss to the Bengal government. Hence, all the Nawabs from Murashid Ali Khan to Ali Vardi Khan were opposing such misuses. So later this led to confrontation between the Nawabs and the company. So which resulted in two crucial wars which charted a decisive course to Indian history. So that is the War of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. So here, as I said, the misuse of dastaks. Dastak means it is a license that can ensure anyone to import and export without paying any tax and transport goods anywhere in India. So as this British had got that dastaks into their custody. Now moving towards the reasons why this Battle of Plassey happened, because of the misuse of the dastaks by these British. So here you can see the Bengal province has noticed that these British are misusing the dastaks and making out their profit and not paying any type of tax to the government. So moving towards the Battle of Plassey, which took in 1757. So here you can see the picture of Battle of Plassey, which took in between the persons who are responsible for the approach of battle. So here main thing you have to observe is Alivardi Khan. So this Alivardi Khan, who is the Nawab of Bengal, died in 1756. Now you can see, observe, the Battle of Plassey happened in 1757. So before that you have to see here Alivardi Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, died in 1756. So here his grandson Siraj-ud-Dawla came to the throne. As the Plassey battle took place between the young Nawab Siraj-ud-Dawla and the British in 1757. So reasons behind this, why this battle of Plassey took place. So only because of misuse of dastaks by the British. As you can see, Siraj-ud-Dawla, who is the grandson of Alivardi Khan. So after the death of Alivardi Khan, here Siraj-ud-Dawla was made as the Nawab of Bengal. And here Siraj-ud-Dawla was furious that the dastaks were misused by the officials of the company, incurring losses to the government treasuries. For this much amount you have to pay, for this thing this much tax should be paid. Like that here the British started to make out loot of the treasury. And the second reason is mending of fort without permission. So here the British repaired the fort of Calcutta and placed cannons in them. So before that, who is the Nawab of Bengal or whoever may the king of that kingdom? So first the British has to take permission with that kingdom. So here you can see the British, without taking any permission from the related kings, they started to mending of the forts, and there they placed cannons in them. So this further angered Siraj-ud-Dawla and ordered the removal of cannons. The British refused. No, we are not going to do this. By this incident, the Nawab further made some efforts which made for the rise of Plassey War. So, that situation which made this British to come forward and make over their effort, that is Black Room tragedy. As Siraj-ud-Dawla conquered the Fort Williams easily and imprisoned some of the British. And as he imprisoned 146 Englishmen in a small room in the fort, so in which 123 died. So why means here, this is this incident we call it as Black Room tragedy. And as this is one small room, in that only limited persons should be kept as prisoners. And in that he has thrown or pushed more and more English prisoners, and in that here we can see without getting proper ventilation, so many died. So in that you can see 123 died. So this is called as the Black Room tragedy. This enraged Robert Clive again arrived in Bengal with a large army towards this Siraj-ud-Dawla. Robert Clive attracted rich local like Manik Chand, who are very good in money, and Omni Chand, Jagat Seth and others towards him. As you can see, here you can see the mind game of the Britishers. So as Robert Clive, so you could have observed the film Thugs of Hindustan. So in that film you can see the clear mind game of Robert Clive, which has shown nicely in that film, starring Amitabh Bachchan, Amir Khan, so many multi-star film. That one, if you see that film, you will come to know about Robert Clive. So how cunning and how selfish he is. And here you can see this Robert Clive attracted some rich officials like local people like Manik Chand, Omni Chand, Jagat Seth and others towards him for financial help. and he was successful in convincing Mir Jafar. So who is Mir Jafar? He is the military head of Siraj-ud-Dawla. So see here the mind game played by this Robert Clive. So making this Mir Jafar the military head of Siraj-ud-Dawla, and keeping him one proposal in front of him. So if you stay neutral in this war, so after Siraj-ud-Dawla you will be the Nawab of Bengal. Means giving ಅತಿ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ತೋರಿಸೋದು. So if you stay neutral you will be the next head of this Bengal. Like that here you can see the Mir Jafar, who is the military head of Siraj-ud-Dawla, to stay neutral in the battle by offering him the post of Nawab, and encouraged by all these developments, the mind game played by Robert Clive, declared and he made himself, yes, I am confident that in this war I am going to get priority of this Mir Jafar, and he is going to be stay neutral and he is not going to help his king. As you can see, Clive declared war against Siraj-ud-Dawla. Everything went according to his plan of work which was made by Robert Clive. And here Siraj-ud-Dawla, who tried to escape from the battlefield, and afterwards he was captured, and after some days he was killed. So this was only happened because of the what I call the selfishness, the cunning game played by this Clive. So what happened? What are the outcomes of this war? So this war brought out the immortality, lack of unity among the Indians, and the greed of Indian businessmen also. So here till today also we can see in one or the other situations, many of us will move towards the greediness of other people. And after the death of Siraj-ud-Dawla, Mir Jafar, as the promise given by Clive, so Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal. So the company gained more and more rights to do business in Bengal province. After this, Mir Jafar had to pay rupees 17 crore and 70 lakhs as a relief to Siraj-ud-Dawla's attack on the Fort Williams. So here, as a war finished, here you can see the mind game of Robert Clive. So after making Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal, so in the other hand, here you can see Clive started to collect the amount as the relief fund towards the attack on the Fort Williams. So in the nutshell, so in this mind game, here you can see Mir Jafar became continuous victim of the company and its employees. So for this you have to pay this much amount, for that you have to pay this much amount, like this. Day by day, they are gaining more and more amount from this Mir Jafar. And even though the treasury went bankrupt due to this greedy nature of Clive. So here the greediness of the company and the Clive made its officials were never satisfied, one or the other thing. So if today if they have paid the amount, means tomorrow again with one more plan up they'll come and they'll try to collect more and more from the Mir Jafar. So now here also we can see the mind game of the company, as they declared that Mir Jafar is inefficient Nawab, and the British has brought Mir Jafar's nephew Mir Qasim as the new Nawab. Means you are not at all capable of handling all these situations, so you are unfit. So they removed Mir Jafar and made Mir Qasim as the Nawab of Bengal. So by this here you can see what are the reasons, what are the outcomes. So reasons is misuse of dastaks, mending of forts, black room tragedy. Here are the reasons for the Battle of Plassey. Outcomes, what happened? Here you can see Mir Qasim was appointed as Nawab of Bengal. Mir Jafar was removed from the throne, and as a British company took the help of local people and gained their strategies to come true. And after this, here we can see Battle of Buxar, which is very crucial for the people who are become as the playing dolls in the hands of British. So here you can see Battle of Buxar, which happened in 1764. Here you can see after Mir Jafar, Mir Qasim was very efficient administrator. So in the beginning he remained loyal to the company, to the East India Company or the British East India Company. And for that he paid 2 lakh pounds to the company and gave some places to the company. And shortly he declared himself as the independent king. So further he don't want to be loyal towards any king or any company. So after paying some amount to the company, he said, I am going to be the independent king. So after verifying the misuse of dastaks which are made in the Battle of Plassey, so he declared that the business is duty free in Bengal. So as a result you can observe the Indians competed against the British in all the spheres of business. So as a result you can observe here the British trade suffered considerably. And this was enough for the British to oppose the Nawab. So as Mir Qasim gave permission for all Indians to make their business without paying any tax, they can do their imports and export, which is very tactic for this British. So this made the British to oppose the Nawab, as this Nawab was made only by the effort of the British East India Company only. So as Mir Qasim knew about the cunningness of the British, so he went on for an organized war against them. So he was supported by the Indian merchants and the artisans. So Mir Qasim entered into agreements with the Mughal ruler Shah Alam II, the Nawab of Awadh. So here you can see Shah Alam II, the Nawab of Awadh, Shujauddaulah. So here you can see the combined forces of Mir Qasim faced the British army led by the Hector Munro at Buxar in 1764. So Mir Qasim got defeated and ran away from the battlefield. And here who gave support to this Mir Qasim has to suffer. And there as Mir Qasim ran away from his field, and here Shah Alam II, he has to surrender himself in front of the British. So the efforts made by the combined forces to stop the British forces failed completely. So here the Battle of Buxar, which is the main reason to make out that misuse of dastaks made by this British army. When that dastaks were found by these Mir Qasim and Mir Jafar gave the same effort, but they are unsuccessful in competing with the British. So now the outcomes of Battle of Buxar are Shah Alam II accorded the Diwani rights over Bengal to the British. So nothing, any other option not left in front of Shah Alam. So here Shah Alam accorded the Diwani rights over Bengal to the British. After that Shah Alam gave away all the rights over Bengal to the British for an annual income of rupees 26 lakhs. So here the Nawab of Awadh had to give away a fine of rupees. Why means why this Nawab of Awadh has to pay means he has supported Mir Qasim in the Battle of Buxar. So for that, as you have given your support to that Mir Qasim and you have waged war against the British company, so you have to pay the fine of rupees 50 lakhs for waging war against the company. So with the death of Mir Jafar, the company paid pension to his son and took over the entire administration of Bengal into their hands. So by the Battle of Buxar made the British as the real holders of power over Bihar, Bengal, Odisha provinces. Even Awadh remained under their control, and in 1765 Robert Clive brought dual government concept. So two governments has to run the administration. So as per this concept, the British had the right to collect land taxes whereas the Nawab of Bengal only for the namesake. So they have powers of issuing any justice and any other things. So now by like this here, the English gained political control over India to protect their business interests. So by this we have come to the end of first chapter, the arrival of Europeans to India. So go through this and do more and more revision so that you can be perfect in each and every aspect of your subject. Thank you.